Hello, my name is Julie Hannawell, and I teach developmental math at Tallahassee Community College. And I am going to share with you a plan that I created for improving student attendance in college classes. And I plan to use this within my courses to help promote attendance and improve attendance. There is evidence that if students come to class, then in turn they get better grades and they have a greater chance of experiencing success and staying in school. And this will impact retention rates for colleges. Currently, nationally, college retention rates are about 60%. Now, there are institutional reasons, or I should say the institution has their responsibility for implementing strategies to help students remain in college. But as an instructor, I believe there are things that I can do to keep my students coming to class, to help them experience success so that they remain in college and finish. When I first started thinking about, well, what are some things that I can do to improve attendance in my class, I found an article online in The Observer published by the American Psychological Association. And they list several strategies that teachers can use or instructors can use to help improve attendance in their classes. They say teachers have little to lose and much to gain by implementing strategies for motivating students to attend class. And I'm just going to mention a couple other things that they mention. They say that teachers should require attendance. Some faculty with an attendance policy do not try to validate excuses. They ask students to tell them if they are going to miss class or to inform them as soon as possible after missing one. They suggest using in-class quizzes or assignments, and they suggest that instructors have policies that explain consequences that students will have to face for missing exams or turning in late assignments. They mentioned the classroom atmosphere may be more influential in drawing students than the actual material. Teachers should require respect among students and model this behavior by respecting your students back. And instructors should create fun ways for rewarding attendance. And then finally from this article, I'll just say, we know from social psychology that students are more conscious of their behaviors when they perceive themselves to be individually identifiable and accountable for those actions. One teaching tip that has proven valuable to us is to learn student names as quickly as possible. Calling a student by names demonstrates that you have an interest in the individual as well as the group. And so what I did, first I would just like to before I go on and talk about some of the activities that I'm going to implement in this plan, I created a logic model to explain my plan for improving attendance in my classes. And throughout this presentation, I'm going to use my Prezi to go through all the areas that I include on this logic plan. So these are some inputs that I would like to put into this plan in order to help attendance. I talk about a student learning contract, unannounced quizzes, having a student contact information sheet, pre and post surveys completed by the students, assigning 2 math projects, funds for a class pizza party, raffle tickets for weekly drawings and semester drawings, and weekly prizes for drawings, funds for donuts 4 times during the semester for the class that has the best attendance, and then funds for 4 $25 gift cards. One of those gift cards to be giving at the end of semester for good attendance. Now those inputs, much of that is reiterated here as I list the activities of my plan. Students will sign a course attendance contract, and that contract will have very detailed information about my attendance policy and their responsibilities in regards to contacting me very specifically, specific directions when they're going to be absent. In addition, it will discuss the importance of attendance and how attendance impacts success in the class. The pre-survey that I would like students to complete will give me information about their preferred learning styles, and then also their input on what incentives, what strategies will keep them coming to class. I'm going to require that students exchange contact information with 3 or 4 different peers so that they have someone to contact when they are absent, so that they may receive missed material. At the end of the plan, I will also have students complete a post-survey, and I will ask them about different strategies that I employed to help improve attendance in the class and success in the class, and what other things might I do differently to promote attendance. I am going to, in the past, I haven't given unannounced or pop quizzes, but I am going to administer 8 unannounced mini quizzes throughout the semester to help promote attendance. And I'm also going to create 2 course projects and take into consideration students' learning styles, and also make the math content relevant to student lives. I'm going to make sure that I greet students when they come in the room and that I address them by name. When students are absent, I will either email them or call them. And then I'm going to use different incentives and drawings as an incentive for coming to class. The instructor as well as the student are participating in this plan. The activities kind of all work together as a package to increase communication, or to increase communication and connection between the instructor and students. Although I'm going to, or the instructor is going to facilitate and help maintain the communication and connection with students, the students will also have activities to do. And what I'm trying to do is help students take ownership for their learning. As I was saying, the activities of this plan as a package support improving student attendance as well as student success in the course. I have short-term, medium or middle-term, and long-term outcomes for this plan. To begin with, as I mentioned, I will have students complete the pre-survey. And at the same time, by the students completing the attendance contract, they'll gain awareness of the importance of attendance and its relationship to success in the class. My medium-term outcomes: students will personally monitor their own attendance on a sheet. Students will contact their peers when they miss class to catch up with what they missed. I will engage students in 2 course projects throughout the semester. I will monitor student attendance. I will take attendance and contact students when they're absent. I hope to see improvement in attendance, and as a result, I would like the average grade on each of 4 unit tests throughout the semester to increase by 10%, and I will compare this with students from previous semesters. Long-term goals: I would like attendance to improve 25% from previous semesters, and I would like 75% of my students to pass the course with a C or better. After giving students the post-survey, I hope that it indicates that 90% of students agree that strategies that I use to promote attendance and success actually do this in the course. And as I mentioned, I also want feedback from the students on what else I can do to promote student attendance. Lastly, I hope that I can fine-tune some sort of plan or program after a few semesters that can also be shared with my colleagues and other instructors at my college. At the end of my plan, I discuss assumptions that I'm making and also external factors that impact the success of my plan. I am assuming, and I have found evidence in research, that there is a connection between attendance and student grades. When students come to class, they perform better, and that there also exists a relationship between grades and success and retention in college. If students are getting good grades, there's a greater chance they're going to remain in college and complete their goal. I also have through my readings, found some evidence or implications that instructor behavior and teaching strategies impact attendance and student success in college. And finally, increasing connections between instructor and student impacts attendance, grades, and success in college. And I have done some reading on this as well. There are external factors that will influence how successful this plan is. There are also obviously institutional variables that impact attendance and success of students in college. And for example, I wanted to give you some examples of institutional factors that impact student success. The quality and process of student orientation to college, advising, and access to services. Those are examples of institutional factors. Also, students have personal factors or personal variables that impact whether they come to class or whether they're absent. Some of those include their outside work schedule, their prior education, other family responsibilities that they have, and transportation issues. I have also experienced that students do enter college lacking life skills necessary to succeed in college. They're not ready for college. So it is my goal that by implementing this handful of activities in my class, that I will be able to fine-tune a plan to be used in the future with all of my courses to improve attendance, and therefore student grades, and therefore student success, and the big picture, help improve the retention rates at my institution. Thank you very much.